Okay. This is like the 8th billionth time I've tried setting up my camera the way I want, and this is just what it's gonna look like. Hello again. Not much is going on with me besides just going to work and coming back home and quarantining as much as I can. And being kind of quarantined has made me reminisce on all of the times that I didn't have to be at home. I was thinking about all those embarrassing times that kind of relate to my chair. I'm trying to show like a broad spectrum of stories too, from like stuff that happened when I was a little kid all the way up to like current. And this first story I have, I actually don't remember it. My dad told me about this. I was maybe like 4 or 5, he said. And I'll just preface this with I was kind of a rambunctious kid a little bit. I would throw temper tantrums. I would stomp my wheels if I got mad. I would slam my door if I didn't want to do something. And I wouldn't stay in timeout. And one time, I kept leaving after I was sent to my room. And after about the 3rd or 4th time of leaving my room, my dad put me back in timeout and left with one of my wheels. He's like, "You're not leaving this time." And he said that my mother was not very impressed, but he thought that that was incredibly creative and funny. And I think it is too. I was also thinking about what I would do a lot when I was a little kid, which was go to my sister's basketball games. And all of the siblings that were going to watch their older siblings in the games would all play together. We would go find like an empty hallway or a gym, and we would just take over. And one time, they decided that we were going to play hide and seek in the dark. And fun fact about me is I've had light up wheels since I was 8 years old. But gosh darn it, that was not going to stop me from playing hide and seek in the dark. So I was trying to maneuver this game the entire time on a wheelie, which is incredibly difficult when you're trying to move and then stop and then move and then stop. And, and if you'd fall down for a second, you were instantly just caught. Because obviously you're going to see this bright light over in the total darkness. So needless to say, I did not last very long in that game. Okay, so a few years after that, and I was going on a middle school like choir trip, and we took 2 separate buses, and the one that I was on that had the handicap ramp broke, obviously. So we all had to pool into the same bus. And my friends had to carry me on and off of it since this one didn't have the ramp. And I was sitting next to my friend and she was carrying me off. Once we got back home, it was like 1 in the morning. So like, mind you, we were delirious at this point. But she was carrying me off of the bus, and we didn't have our pick of seats. Otherwise we would have sat in the front. We had to sit like in the back middle. And so we had to pass through all of these like other bus seats before we could actually get off. And every time we would pass one of the bus seats, my leg would smack the back of the seat in front of us. And it would trip her up every time. And she kept tripping because of my freaking leg. And she says, "Don't worry, I'm not gonna drop you." And I say, "I'm not worried about you dropping me. I'm worried about losing my other leg." And she instantly responds with, "I hope it's not the one still attached to your body." And for some reason, we just thought that was the funniest thing ever. And we were laughing so hard that she couldn't carry me anymore. And she just fell into the seat over, like, next to us. And we were dying laughing. And the best part was we made everybody else on the bus feel so awkward. Everybody's like, "What is going on?" And like this one kid, I looked at him directly and he was like, like he didn't know if it was okay to laugh or not. And we just thought that was the best thing ever. Another embarrassing time. This one's a little more recent. These last 2 are college stories. We were heading to a football game. So we were walking to the game itself, and we had to cross the street. It was 2 of my friends and me. And we were going to cross. And like, you know when the curb, like the sidewalk changes into like the road pavement? There was like an inch difference. There was a bump that we had to go over, and I did not anticipate that bump being as big as it was. And the next thing I know, because my friend's pushing me, I am on the ground. I instantly just go bloop, catch myself, but I'm definitely not in my chair at this point. I'm just laughing like, I just fell in the street. I'm gonna die. I'm just like sitting here holding my body off of the ground, and I just feel one arm right here and my other friend grab an arm right here, and they just swooped me back up in my chair, like the quickest transfer I've ever had in my life. And we just kept on going, and I'm pretty sure the traffic guy was laughing at us. Like we were dying too. We're like, oh my gosh, just like keep going, act like it didn't happen. I was just yeeted into the street. But it was fine. Everything's all good, obviously. This last story, we were visiting friends back at college, and we decided to go to a street dance. It had been raining that day, and my friend was pushing me, the same one that yeeted me into the street, mind you. I told her, don't push me in any puddles, because there was puddles everywhere. And she's like, oh, don't worry, I won't. And then she gets this mischievous look on her face, and she runs me through every puddle she can find because she thinks it's fun. And it is fun in the moment, but it wipes out all of the grease in my wheels, so now I can't wheel properly. And the night was far from over. It was like maybe 8 p.m. at this point, and so I have to spend the rest of the evening with janky wheels that don't want to do what I tell them to do. So we were still at the street dance, and someone asks me to dance, and I just know that I'm screwed. Like my wheel will not turn. I'm like, I can't do this. And I tried talking them out of it, and they were like, no, come on, like it'll be fun. And so I was like, fine. And so I danced with them. It is the worst dance I've ever done. They're trying their hardest to like have fun and like twirl me, and it's just, it doesn't work when your wheels don't turn. And so I'm pretty sure I was like biting their ankles because I was just jerking all around. I felt so bad, but they were being a trooper. But I definitely needed some WD-40 when I got home. So those were just a few of the stories I could think of that were cringy enough, also relating to my wheelchair. I hope you find them funny, because I think they're entertaining as heck. But I'm gonna go inside, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my evening, and I hope you do too, or whatever time you're watching this. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe. If you have any cringy moments of your own, please comment them, I would love to hear it. But until I post again, don't forget to love yourself, and I will see you very soon. Bye!